Okay, we are recording. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off. It's a few minutes, minute past 9. So let me, took some notes and I wanted to share with everybody what we're all here for. So first off, welcome. I appreciate you all jumping on. I know some of you know what this is about. Some of you don't have a clue. Some of you might be a little nervous. Some of you might be fired up. Some of you might be dreading this. Some of you are like, what am I getting myself signed up for? So there's going to be a lot of different emotions that you feel for this event. So just to set the stage, what is the intent? What are we here to accomplish with the summit? What is the summit? The summit is a accountability, consistency, training type of an event. It is a multiple day event. The original brainchild of where this came from was when Team Fusion first got started and they were finally kicking off. Mark Davenport set the gauntlet for, threw the gauntlet down for a lot of folks when Kirk Hansen said, hey, if you guys will make it to a certain rank and get this done by this date, then they will open up the SV bonus. And so anytime that you've ever sponsored somebody and you get a bonus for that, you have Team Fusion to be able to thank for being able to do that. So because they reached that goal that Mr. Hansen set out for them, they were able to open that up for all of North America. And that was the first that got started. And that was 4 or 5 years ago when that all happened. The idea when that was thrown down, Mr. Davenport, founder of Team Fusion, sat down and had an accountability call that they went on. And it was something around 50 or 60 days that they went. And every single night they got on and they set what their goal was and they made sure that they held everybody accountable. And it was a very powerful thing that was set up, and that set in motion a lot of neat things. So with that said, about, I guess it was almost a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, that it was actually October 12th of 2017 that we did our first summit. And it was based upon this idea. And I had some epiphanies at that moment. And that's when the Jade Factory way of doing things came into being. And we started tracking our numbers a certain way. And we started putting the systems in place. We've added to them a little bit, but it was all based on that. When we did our first one, we went 50 straight days. We went from October 12th until November 30th or 31st. I don't remember how many days are in there. I should have that burned in my skull. And it was from 10 o'clock at night, so an hour later than we are right now, until 11 o'clock. So it was an hour long. Sometimes it went a little bit beyond that as well. And it was every single night. So the goal of what we were doing that for was to set in motion and get everybody crystal clear on what it is exactly they're supposed to be doing and hold them accountable that they're actually doing the steps that they need to be doing. And hold them accountable to the point of just calling it out, just focusing on it. And that's what we did. And what set off as a result of that, Miss Sherry Passmore, I see her on here, she skipped Pearl and went straight from Jade to Sapphire on the last day of the year in 2017, hit it again in January, got her car and hasn't looked back since. And then a couple months later hit Ruby, continued on. Had a lot of people break into Sapphire. I know Jake right after that had made it to Sapphire and a couple of others. We had a lot of explosion in the organization as a result of that event. We've done one more since then, and here I believe this is our third one that we're doing. At least we might have done another one. I can't remember. We do these periodically. It's a lot of work. I'm going to tell you that from my perspective. From you guys, it is the work that we do daily, but it's a lot to be able to commit to be able to doing this. So let's set that. So that's the intent, what it was for, what we were trying to achieve, which was set in motion, make sure everybody's clear and hold them accountable. The idea of why we call it a summit is because we are going up the mountain. We are going up to the top of this mountain, and nothing's going to hold us back. Anytime that you go on an expedition, if you're climbing mountains, it's always better to go with somebody that's been to the top of the mountain, okay? It's a whole lot easier than a whole bunch of you getting together and say, hey, let's see where this thing goes. That's a way to do it, but it's a lot better if you had somebody that's been up the mountain a few times and they can light the path. They can tell you, go here, don't go there. That's not good. Don't go that way. That's the main idea behind this. So I'm here as your tour guide, as your expedition leader, to be able to take you on this journey and to be able to make sure you know what are the steps. Now, the other side of this is it's a team event. We're going to rope everybody up. Tonight we're at base camp. We're going to get everybody roped up. We're going to make sure everybody knows what you're getting ready to get into, and you're going to be ready for tomorrow to be able to report your numbers and all the things that are going in. I'm going to explain that tonight. So tonight's event is to be able to make sure everybody is crystal clear on what you need to do, what this is going to be about, and then we're going to put this and set this into motion. And tomorrow through the remainder of the event is going to be the same. Tonight is a special night just to make sure you all are clear. Okay, so we're going to rope up. We're going to be attached together. And this is a very important thing to recognize with how our team operates. We're not out here running around by ourselves. We operate as an organization. It's built into our organization. It's built into our culture. You cannot be successful doing this by yourself. The same way that when you scale a mountain, you're not going to go solo up to Everest. You're going to have a whole team. And everybody plays a different role in the team. I want to make sure everybody on this organization is clear on how that works. And we're going to go up this mountain together. With us being roped up, a key point is when you go up a mountain, there's going to be casualties. That's just how it goes. Not everybody is always going to make it to the top. That's not the intent. The intent is when you leave base camp that you're going to reach the top of the mountain. Otherwise, you don't even rope up. You don't leave base camp. And that's completely cool. I want everybody to know that you do not have to do this to be successful in our team. Okay? I don't want you to get, well, man, I didn't really know this was something we're going to have to do. This isn't really my cup of tea. That if you feel that way, don't worry about this. If you just got started and you're not quite ready for this, that's completely your call. You do not have to do this to be successful. That said, I can tell you example after example after example. I can tell you every leader that I have in this organization has gone through this exercise and come out on the other end 1,000 times stronger than when they started. And it made a huge difference in their business. And so if you're looking for that, if you're ready for that, if you're hungry for that, you're in the right spot. If that freaks you out a little bit, don't let that kick you out of action. Don't let that kick you and like, man, I can't do this whole business thing. That's not it at all. You call me directly if you got any questions tomorrow, all day long. It's like, Casey, tell me a little bit more. I'm not quite clear. Make sure you know what you're signing up for. Okay. And if you have questions, you got to ask, because if you got those questions, then I'm not going to be able to read your mind. So you got to reach out to me. When you sign up for this thing, I want you to do it with the intent that you're going to the top, or they're going to find you on the side of the mountain dead. That's really the mindset that I want you to have on this. It doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in reaching some magical number, or you got to have, all I want from you is that you're going to scale the mountain. I don't care if you move 1 millimeter a day. All that tells me is now I can figure out your rate of climb, and we will get you to the top of the mountain. It might take longer. Some of you are ready to go up this thing 100 miles an hour, and that's cool too. It's whatever pace you want to go at. So don't feel like you're going to be holding anybody back. All I require of you is that you're going to go to the top of the mountain. I need that as your intent. Now, everybody has that intent when they leave base camp, and you can see in all the stories about Everest that not everybody makes it. Life is going to happen. There's going to be a gust of wind that's going to pop up. There's going to be an avalanche. Somebody's rope's going to break. One of the crimplins is going to break. All kinds of nonsense is going to happen. It's called life. Okay, so everybody get their head clear on that. If life pops up and knocks you off this mountain, don't worry about it. It doesn't mean that you're out of the game. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful in this organization or in Kion. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that run at the top of the mountain didn't happen. And that's cool. I've gone up so many times up of a mountain, and I didn't make it to the top when I decided I want to go to the top. Life happened. So don't worry about that. Again, go with it with the intent that you will succeed, or don't even leave base camp. But then once you do that, understand that there's going to be some times where some people ain't going to make it. Another thing, you're not going to not make it as a result of us leaving you behind. Everybody's going to rope up on this mythical climb up this mountain. The only way that you're not going to succeed in this is if you grab the rope, and there's a rope that goes below you and one that goes above you, and you grab a hold of that rope and you reach out and you grab your knife and you cut the rope underneath of you, and all the people that are lashed up next to you, you drop them down the mountain. And then you grab above you and you cut the rope above you and you fling yourself off the mountain. That's the only way you're not going to make it with this group, because that's how we operate. Is we're not going to leave anybody behind unless they want to be left behind. And that's going to be you making that choice that says, I'm out, cut the rope, and jump off. Okay? With that said, this isn't going to be Mount Everest. Okay? We've done Everest before. It's 50 days. We only leave at 11 o'clock at night. It's brutal. I won't lie. Seven days a week. That's 7 weeks nonstop. So this is a little baby mountain that we're doing, and we're doing it just for March. Okay, so there's a easier time frame to be able to hit on this one. A couple other things to mention. This goes from tonight until the 30th of March, which is a Saturday. Okay, I'm making sure I don't miss anything on here. It's going to be on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights. Then it's going to be on Fridays and Saturdays. Well, Casey, I mean, that's the weekend. That's when we're supposed to go have fun. I get it. No problem. Might not be your mountain this time. I'm good with it. Your call. So it's 5 nights a week. We will not do this on Thursday nights. We will not do this on Sunday nights. The reason for Thursday nights that we won't be doing it on Thursdays is because we're going to be doing our DFYs in the month of March on the 7th, the 14th, 21st, 28th. Our first one is 3 nights from tonight. Okay. And there's a lot of messages going out. I've been sending that out quite a bit. If you don't know what that is, reach out to me after this and I'll make sure that you are clear on what that is all about. So 5 nights a week. Now, the other cool thing about this baby mountain is we give you mulligans. All right. If you don't know what a mulligan is, look that up for golf. It basically means you slice one real bad and you get a do-over. You get a gimme. Okay. I'm giving you 4 mulligans. Okay. What that means is, for the qualification, I'll explain that in a second, to qualify as a result of attending the summit and completing this task, this expedition, you got to be here 5 nights a week from the 4th through the 30th, but you get 4 mulligans. You get 4 nights that, you know what, I got to cash one in. I can't make it tonight. I've got another event that was already scheduled before you're doing your goofy mountain thing. I can't make it on that night. No problem. That's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm setting it up that way, so that I want more participation in it. I want it to not be so daunting mentally. It's still going to be work. Don't get me wrong. This baby mountain's still a mountain. It's not a hill. Okay? So you get 4 mulligans. Well, Casey, it's spring break's coming up. I've already got plans with the family. You always tell us, God first, family second, county third. I feel like I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard spot here. That's what the 4 days are for. And to still get qualified, if you got to miss more than those 4 days, then we're going to have extra mulligans that you can purchase. And like any good tournament that's for mulligans for golf, it goes to charity. So here's how you get extra mulligans. You buy potato packs. A $25 potato pack gets you 2 extra mulligans. Okay? So for feeding a family of 5, you get to take 6 nights off of this expedition. Okay? Casey, what if I don't want to attend one single night of your goofy mountain thing, climbing thing, and I just want to buy potato packs for the whole thing? Hell yeah, let's do it. You're more than welcome to do that, and you'll qualify and you'll get to come and hang out with us. Okay? So Casey, why do I want to have this qualification? What's that going to do for me? So here's what the qualification is for. The qualification is so that you get to attend the open house in Salt Lake City. Okay? Well, Casey, there's no chance I'm going to be able to go to Salt Lake, or I can't get off or anything. Why do I need to attend it? Because you're going to get so much out of this. I'm just sweetening the deal and putting you in a nice party house at the top of the mountain when you get there. If you want to come hang out, you can. And it's going to be a lot of fun. 10,000 square foot mansion, 9 bedrooms, hot tub, food's included. We're going to have a chef on the Wednesday night. It ain't bad. If y'all ever get to go hang out with me, I like to eat really good stuff. Okay, so we ain't having Taco Bell. I'm going to tell you that. I don't even know if you can get Taco Bell in Salt Lake City, but we ain't going to get it even if you can. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so that's for anybody. There's some people on this Zoom tonight that is not in my organization. I'm cool with that. I love you guys. I'm here for you. We make a really big tent so everybody can get underneath of it. You guys are more than welcome for participating in this. I want you to get qualified for this by attending the summit throughout. and you get to come out and hang out with us. Okay. Next thing, there's 3 spots that I'm having. Three of the beds in the mansion are going to be a contest for them. So if you want to spend the night, the qualification is you get to come hang out. That's during the day. Okay. And you can hang out at night too. You just can't sleep there. You got to go home. You got to go to a hotel or somewhere else. You can't stay there. There's a max number of people that can be there. And you have to Uber to get to the mansion. Okay. You can't drive your car to it because people that are going to be staying there are going to take up all the spots, and they're kind of hoity-toity, I think, in this neighborhood. And you can't park on the street because that's just how they roll. So it's their house. They get to make the rules. So to qualify to be there during the day, that's what the summit's for. To be able to stay the night, that's going to be just for people in my organization. Okay. The top business partner enroller. So who sponsors the most business partners? Who sponsors the most customers? And who puts me on the most 3-way calls? Not me, but who executes the most 3-way calls? Those 3 winners are going to get to stay and bring a guest with them to be able to spend the night at the mansion for those 3 nights. Okay. So you also have to attend the summit to be able to do that. You got to qualify for the summit to be able to spend the night at the mansion. Okay. Hopefully all this is making sense to everybody. If you got any questions, post them out on either Power Hour or post them out on local, and we'll get you all the answers. I'm going to keep moving for tonight and make sure that everybody's clear on how this goes, because we got a good amount to cover. Okay. The other key intent of the summit, it's so that you keep hearing the same thing burned into your brain for repetition. It's very important that you hear the same thing over and again. And hearing it's one thing, watching somebody else do it is another, experiencing it for yourself is the best of all 3. We're going to get all of those here by doing this. I'm going to chat with each one of you. The desired income is when this is done, you're standing at the top of the mountain with me, arms raised in a V. It's like a Pearl Jam song. I want you guys at the top of this thing. I want you guys to understand what those steps are. When you get done with this summit, if I did my job right, then you're going to know and you will have experienced and gone through all the steps necessary to be extremely successful in this business. That might mean you need to hear it 10 times before it sinks in. I'm good with that. That's what this is for, the consistency. All right. So there's 2 main parts to the summit, okay? So we know what the intent is. We know the parameters of this thing. Now, what are we doing each night? There's 2 main parts. There's the tracking of your numbers, and then there's going through the review and adjust process. Okay, so let's start with the last one first, the review and the adjust. You hear me say it all the time: plan, do, review, adjust. If you're taking notes, that's the first thing, at least the first thing that I would write down if you haven't written anything down yet. Plan, do, review, adjust. We have a plan. You learn about it when we are at regionals. You learn about it at the Road to Jade. You learn about it in the launches. You learn about it in the one-on-ones. You learn about it in Power Hour. You're going to learn about it some more in what we do here. We have a plan on what we're going to do. Then you got to actually go out and do it. Some people, when they get in this, they become professional students and they don't actually do anything with it. The summit is built to actually take action. So there's going to be the do part. When you do the do, another commercial here. When you do the do, then you're going to be able to track those numbers. That's how you know, hey, I did this. When you get done with that, each night we're going to go through and I'm going to look at this spreadsheet, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. And I'm going to look at the different things you did for that day. How many people did you reach out to? How many people did you build rapport with? How many people did you go in there and find out where it hurts? How many people did you ask if they want to fix that? How many people did you say that you know a guy? How many people actually set up the 3-way chat with the leader? How many times did they actually respond back and it was a successful 3-way, not just a setup? How many how many business partners did that turn into? How many customers did that turn into? How many people have you launched that's been started in your business? How much personal development have you done for the day? All of these different things, I'm going to have a conversation with each of you one-on-one in the group setting, but it'll be a one-on-one. I'm going to pick one of you in the spreadsheet. We're going to have a discussion. You have to participate. None of this power hour nonsense where you guys try to hide. It's going to be, we're getting there, we're talking about it. And this is where the review part comes in. This is the part that's difficult for some people, and that's why we do it in the summit. The review is so important. If you're out swinging a golf club and you keep slicing and slicing and slicing and slicing and you're not accomplishing your goal, pretty good chance you probably want to get that thing videoed, look through the viewfinder, record it, and then review it. And when you get done reviewing it, the golf pro is sitting there looking at you going, I watched you swing 2 times. I can tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. And then don't leave them in the mess, as Jim Rohn would say. Help them fix it. So we make an adjustment. So that's the review and the adjust. Sometimes there's no adjust. Sometimes there's a review, a high five, great job, keep doing what you're doing. Well, it didn't come out to the desired income. They didn't join the business. Cool, man. That's what the river's for. Send their ass on down the river. That's cool. Okay? So that's what the review is going to be, and then we'll see if there's an adjustment. When I give these adjustments, here's the other thing to consider. I don't know everything. As much as I think I do sometimes when I'm talking with my wife, I don't know everything. I'm going to give you my best advice as to what I would have done in that situation. You can take that advice or not. I'm good either way. If what I say does not resonate with you, do it with what you feel in your gut you need to do. This is your business, not mine. I want to give you everything I've got. I will be open and honest with you. I will not pull any punches. I will call it as I see it. Some people don't like that. I'm letting you know what's going to happen in the summit. If you don't like that, don't suit up. Don't get yourself hooked in on the rope. That's no problem. You might not be ready for that. You might not be mentally prepared for that. You might not enjoy that sort of thing. I'm good with that. This is just another way of me pouring into you guys for the ones that are ready for it. You might not be ready. That doesn't mean you're dropping out of Kyani or Jade Factory or anything. It just means it's not time for you to suit up for this thing. That's cool. I'm completely good with that. No problems whatsoever. I truly, truly mean that. The second thing that we do is the tracking of our numbers. So I'm going to share my screen and show you all what that is about. Actually, before I do that, give me 1 second to copy that little fella right there. All right, I'm going to put this, what I'm about to show you, I'm going to send it all to you right now on the chat. So look at the chat session. What's wrong with Taco Bell? That's funny, Jake. All right, that link I just sent to Bert privately. That was not what I wanted to do. We'll send it to everybody now. All right, so that link, that tinyurl.com, you can click that. It's not going anywhere crazy. It is going to take you to what I'm about to share my screen and show you. And it will take you, if I did it right, it's going to take you to Casey Salge's Top Champion spreadsheet. Okay? Mark, can you see my screen? If you can, give me a thumbs up. You see my spreadsheet? Cool. Thank you, sir. All right, I'm going to minimize that so I can get some more real estate. There we go. Okay, so what is this? This is a simple Google Sheets spreadsheet, okay? Some of you are going to be technologically challenged and not know how to work with one of these. Get with your upline business partner or get with me directly if you have any issues being able to access this document, okay? Now, a couple key notes on this. If you are doing anything with this document, please be careful because it is a shared document. If you go in and you highlight all of my numbers and you hit delete, then you're going to screw up the spreadsheet and you're going to screw up my numbers and everybody else's. So if you get in here and you're not quite sure what to do, reach out to me. Let me help you with it and we'll get you squared away on doing this. Okay? So let's talk about what this is doing. First thing is it's got a name, it's got QV, it's got CV. It's got reach out, rapport, peak customer, peak business partner, edification three-way, inoculation, ad tag, team fusion family or exposure or one-on-one, follow-up, customer, business partner, launch, regional tickets, ILA tickets, personal development minutes, and BP gets a BP. Okay? These are the numbers that we track. You'll notice that we have each day starting on March 1st, and here we are on March 4th, so I still need to put my numbers in as an example. The information that we put in here, the QV are the 3 numbers that you see in your back office. The CV are the 3 CV numbers that you see in your back office. And then how many people did you reach out to? Okay. The definitions for each of these, if you hover over the little box, you'll see the little arrow next to it. It'll tell you what the reach out is. Engage and reach out to a suspect, start with hello. If you've ever attended one of the No Man Left Behind events like we did at the last regional, we had at least a 45-minute session in there where we actually took action. We grabbed our phones and we started reaching out to people. Okay, and when we did that, we started with hello. When you send that, you get to track that as a point. You did something that day for your business. Maybe you had a conversation with somebody face-to-face. Maybe you called them up on the phone. Maybe you sent them a text message. However you reach out to them and you engage with another human being with the intent to find out if they might be interested in our business at some point down the road as a business partner or a customer. When you reach out to them, you get a point. Okay, see, that seems pretty simple. It is. That's how it starts. Rapport, what does that mean? That means that somebody responded back. If you are walking through a grocery store and you see somebody and you say hello, and your intent is to find out about that human being and they reply hello back, you get a point for that too. That's building rapport. Okay, so we make this kind of easy here on these numbers to be able to get you moving. Okay, so when they say back, hi back for the first time, you count that. Now, that just lets you know that you're building rapport. There's another human being on the other side. There's a conversation going on. You said something, they replied back. Okay, now if they shove you, if they shoot you the finger, if they run you off the road, that does not count for building rapport. Okay, all right, we're having fun here. Okay, so when they say hi back with this specific prospect, you don't get to keep putting a rapport number for them as you keep having conversations with them, okay? You get a one time when they engage back with you, there's a conversation. Now that conversation is going to continue. You're going to be able to talk to them some more. You're going to be able to ask how their family's doing. Maybe the next day you ask them how their job is. Maybe the third day you ask them what they like to do for fun if they've been on vacation. Maybe the fourth day you ask them what they like to do for motivation. I did the FORM thing. These are the things that you can chat with them when you're building rapport. Maybe you know them very well. Maybe you know that they've got blood pressure issues. You reach out to them, say hello. They call you back and say, hey, how you doing? Say, great. Hey, I want to ask you, are you still dealing with blood pressure? You're having conversations with them on figuring out what they've got going on. When they give you an indication that something's broken, something's out of whack, and they've got a need, if it is somebody that wants to help their health, then you can peak them. Then you said that you've peaked them as a customer. Okay? When you're building the rapport with them, you find out where it hurts and they want to improve their health or their beauty with Fluoresce. Now it's time to get the peak going on. You make that. They're going to say something along the lines of, well, what do you got going on? Or what are you doing? You've piqued their interest. They've raised their hand. They say, what do you got? In whatever fashion they do that. Some of them are going to be interested on the business. Some are going to be interested on the customer side. These two that I have here, I reached out to 2 people and they replied back to me. We didn't get far enough in there to pique their interest. I was just learning about them. I was setting the stage. I was planting seeds. The next day, I had a conversation with a different person. I reached out to them. They said hello back. And then as we talked a little bit more, found out that they had some issues going on with their health. And we're going to see if I can get them, and I've got them at least peaked, and we're going to see if they move forward. They haven't done anything since then. So that's an example of how I track those numbers. Okay? Edification 3-way. When you get to a point, this is when they've raised their hand and they say, okay, what you got going on? And you find out, hey, you wanted to fix that, right? And they say, yeah, what do you got? I got a guy. I want to introduce you to him. Okay? And so to do that, you got to edify and you got to pass the ball. Okay. And we'll dig into this more tomorrow when we're getting in here and we're tracking the numbers, because some of you have been hanging out here for a long time and you don't know how to do this. And that is absolutely okay. It is time now to suit up and figure out how to really go in and put this stuff into action. So we're going to confront this. We're going to have a discussion about it. And it's going to be in a loving way. I'm going to find out where you're at, and I'm going to help you up this mountain. I might have to drag you up by the rope to get you there, but I'm going to get you there. Okay? And then you're going to start feeling more comfortable and know where to put your hands and where to put your feet. And next thing you know, you're going to be flying up this mountain. You're going to be bringing 6 people to the organization like we've had happening over here the last couple of days. Okay? That's my intent for you guys, is to be able to do that sort of thing. So to set it up, you're going to do the 3-way setup. Okay? Now, the next thing that's going to happen after that is there's going to be an inoculation. Okay? And that's where I have that chat, or the leader has that chat with them. And that's to get them out of their own head, to get rid of their objections as they're already occurring before they've even seen the information. And then it continues on and on and on. These are how we track the numbers. Okay? I'm not going to spend the rest of the night talking about this. We'll dig into that as we continue on. A couple other things to point out. We have extra notes. The mulligans taken. How many mulligans have you taken? You get 4. If you purchase some potato packs extra, to be clear, these potato packs are purchases on top of what you're already purchasing. Okay? So if you're already set up, maybe you're spending $200 a month on potato packs, that's your baseline. To get extra mulligans, you need to do a $25 on top of that. Well, Casey, I'm already donating, $200. Don't care. It's my contest. That's how we're doing it. We're going to feed some extra families if you need some mulligans. Okay? All right. Number of customers enrolled. I mentioned to you there was 3 things that I was going to be tracking. I want to know the number of customers enrolled, and I want to know their IDs. Okay? So if you enroll one of them, I need you to put that information in your section. You'll notice that for Casey, I've got, from line 3 to line 20. So I've got 18 rows, or however many that actually turns into. However many that is. And what you're going to do is in that section, you need to say the number of customers enrolled, what are their IDs, the number of business partners enrolled, and what are their IDs. And all of that is in that section. Don't touch anything in column B. It's a formula that figures out what you've done for the month. So when you get done and you want to know how you're doing, each month, month over month, you go look at this and you say, hey, this is how many I did on this month. Now let me see how I did last month. Okay? So this in here is all done for you. Now, how do you get added to this? You'll notice that there's some people in here that are already tracking their numbers. And yes, we track this daily. Okay? Every single day, we're putting our numbers in. Some people do it in the morning. Some people do it in the evening. But anybody that's in here, we track their numbers. If you don't track your numbers, if you don't put your numbers in here every single day, then you're not completing the requirements of the summit. And you don't get to come hang out with us at the mansion. Plain and simple. This is the simplest thing to do. Jim Rohn said it very well. He said it's very easy to do, and it's also very easy not to do. These are the habits that I'm going to instill into you to be able to do this. I promise you, when I was first exposed to tracking the numbers like this, it irritated the crap out of me. If you want to know who really got irritated, check with David Daniel. He's also an Emerald in the organization, and he's on a couple of magazine covers with me. He's like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Now, he is a freaking machine. He will look, if there's one thing Dave looks at, it's the numbers. And he gets so pissed if other people don't put their numbers in, okay? So here's how this works. You got to put your numbers in. Now, everybody messes up from time to time. They forget it. They're out of town. They didn't have an internet connection. I get it, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. If you go more than 3 days without putting your numbers in, you keep coming to the summit, you keep doing it all, but you're not going to get qualified and you can't come hang with us at the mansion. Plain and simple. That's how important it is to me. That's how I'm setting it up, and that's what I'd like for you to fulfill. Again, we're talking about what's required for this thing. That's what we're talking about it tonight. And then if you guys want to do this thing, we're going to see you back here tomorrow. If you don't, I'm completely good with it. No worries. Do this. Do these steps. Follow the lead. Follow the lead of the leaders that are doing it, making it happen, continue to make it happen. It's very powerful to be able to have this. It's going to get your mindset right. Well, Casey, tracking numbers isn't going to do that. Yes, it will. Promise you. Okay. And it's, well, Casey, I don't like putting zeros in the boxes. I get it. It's very irritating. It's very irritating when you look and you see that you've got the same values for your qualifying volume 3 days in a row, and it doesn't move. You know what that does? It causes you to take action. It irritates you when you see that because you're tracking your numbers. I've got a couple of other spreadsheets up here. I've got the Salt Lake City Mansion. I'm already working on that. I've got the Jade Factory, Houston, February. This is where I track numbers for what we've got going on. I've got my embroidery business. I have my stats. I track my numbers on anything that's important to me. Okay? So that's why we're doing this. And by being able to track these, this is what we're going to discuss. So I'll scroll down. I'll use Dave as an example. He's not here tonight. So let's see. On the 2nd, what did he do? Well, on the 1st, what was he doing? He was at the fire station. And so you got an emerald that didn't do anything the whole day. Completely fine. He was at the fire station. He's putting out fires for Austin. So he tracks his number. He put zeros in there. Does that irk him? Yeah, it irks him, but it's what it is. It is what it is. What did he do the next day? He talked to 2 people. 2 people responded. They're interested in the business. He did 2 exposures where he's getting them to take a look at the information. That's what he did. Next day, what did he do? He followed up with 3 people. Well, Casey, what numbers do I need to do? Put in what you're doing. Know where you're at, and then see what results you get. That's the purpose of tracking your numbers, so that it's not just a feel-good thing or I think I'm doing okay. You've got numbers to look at. You can look at what other people are doing. Some people are going to have astronomical, crazy numbers because they're going to hit this thing and they're going to go 800 miles up the mountain. Don't let that discourage you. This is your trip up the mountain, okay? You go at the speed that you desire to go, but know the speed at which you're going. If you're going 5 miles an hour and it's a 60-mile-an-hour speed zone, go 5 miles an hour. Do what you desire. But if you desire to get there a whole lot quicker, now you can see what you might need to do and what you might need to bump up a couple numbers, okay? So this isn't to be done as a comparison of, man, I'm just not, living up to anybody else. That's not the key. It's, are you living up to what you desire to live up to? That's the key. That's why we track the numbers. So how do you get your names in here? Okay, a couple different ways. When you go to this link that we sent out, you scroll all the way to the bottom. There's a lot of you in here, so it's slowing it down just a touch, but that's okay. Again, be careful when you're doing this that you don't mess up somebody else's. You'll notice that when you see somebody's name, you grab it from column A, and then if you hold the shift button and you'll use the arrow keys, you move down until you get down to the bottom, and then you go all the way to the right. And I see some people have been adding theirs. Good job. And you keep going all the way to the end of the month. And once it's all highlighted, you go Control C if you've got a non-Apple product. If you're using one of those weird computers, you're on your own for copy and pasting. I'm looking at Sherry while I'm saying that. And then you come down here below whoever the last person was. You can put a space in there, or you put it right there, and you do Control V and you paste it, and then you go change your name.
It's Command C and V for Apple, just FYI.
Cool. Say that again, Sherry.
It's Command C and Command V for Apple.
Perfect.
Instead of Control.
So all you do is copy and paste that and then change the names to protect the innocent. Okay? And then after that, you start filling out your information. That's all there is to it. Okay? If you get confused, you don't know what you're doing, looks like you messed up, so let us know. Okay? Don't go in there and delete the whole page. Okay. Other thing on the colors. Some people get all confused on what the colors mean. The colors are your lifetime rank. Okay? So let's see who we got here. We got David Jones, Tara Bush. They're working one position together. They're blue because they are lifetime sapphires. Okay? And you'll see the colors here. You can copy and go in here and you'll see where the references are for all the different colors. Okay? The other thing that you'll notice is the pay gates. So on the CV line, let me go up as an example. Some of y'all are tracking that, some of you aren't. If you want the reference, you can look at mine. All right, so on day one, I was a Jade. On day 2, I was a pearl. On day 3, I was a sapphire. And then you'll notice on the CV line, if you look in your back office, you'll be able to see what those mean. And then you'll be able to look up here and see what pay gate's colors are. So if you're pay gate 1, you're going to be that color. Pay gate 2 is that color. Pay gate 3 is that color. And that's how you can keep up with that. Okay? If you get confused on that, don't worry about the colors. That's extra bonus points if you figure that out. The big thing is get your numbers in. Okay? Check my notes. Make sure I covered the main points that I wanted to cover. Those are the main points that I want to cover. All right, we got a couple of items in the chat. Let me read over that, and then we'll open it up for questions for anybody that wants to stick around. All right, internet, thank you. On the next 2 Fridays, no worries. Yeah, some of you got to work till midnight. That's what those mulligans are for. Have no fear on using those mulligans. That's what I'm putting them out there for. If you need some extra, just let me know. Casey, how's that work? Just let me know. On the potato packs, if you need to get extra mulligans, then what you're going to do is you will order that. Now, if you want to do that and go place that order underneath the bottom of your organization so that everybody in your organization will benefit from that potato pack, you can absolutely do that. Just let me know that you're doing it that way, and that will take care of it. It's the $25 pack to be able to do it. If you're not clear on how to go in and do that type of thing, reach out to me, reach out to your senior business partner. They'll be able to help you out. Okay? All right. Let's see what other questions we've got. All right. So the numbers is going to be in March, if that's what you're asking me, Mr. Jones. I don't know if that's what you're asking me, though. I don't think that I'm answering the right question. Mr. Jones, unmute yourself if you don't mind. Ask me your question again.
I was just asking, sir, if the business partners that we've already got in, do we put all of those already on there? I'm going to need some more space.
That's what we were asking.
I love it. I love it. Yes, it is from March 1st at 12:01 a.m. March 1st is what we're tracking. And then when you're putting your business partner IDs, you can go inside of this field and go to the right. Okay, so if you need it, you've got multiple lines there, but just feel free to go to the right. Same way with the customer. I want this to be, 27 new customers right here, and I want 36 new business partners here for each of y'all. Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, so just put it in one line, not one by one.
Yeah. You just put it in one line. That'll work out good.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. Very good question. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Casey,
Yes,
if we miss tracking the numbers a day, do we have a mulligan for those? Because I already missed the first 2 days because
you're good from here on out. We're gonna be having that is gonna be official on here moving forward, because people don't know, they haven't been tracking their numbers, any of that stuff. No worries. The number tracking begins tomorrow when we start at 9 o'clock. My request is that you have your numbers in for that day. And if that doesn't work with your schedule, I want you to only be 1 day behind. So maybe you put them in the morning for the night before. So tomorrow when we get in, you would have your numbers from the day before. Okay? But no more than that. I want you guys moving forward from that. Okay? So you need to have something in there so that we can chat about it tomorrow. Okay? Now, how this is going to work as we actually these are great questions. As we're having the discussion, I'm going to go through and I'm going to start at the top. I'm not going to question myself. I'm going to go to Mr. David Daniel, and I'll start with him. Mr. Daniel, the last numbers that you have in here, I'm seeing that you had 2 rapport. I see that you peaked 2 people. Tell me about that. And we're going to go through, and we're going to use it as teaching moments. We're going to discuss it wherever the conversation is going to lead us. We're going to dig in deep, or we're going to go fast. So you guys got to be ready all the time. And as I go through these, now some of them I'm going to go quick with you. Some I'm going to dig in because it's going to spawn some thoughts. So don't get bent out of shape if I only spend 30 seconds with you. Don't get bent out of shape that I spend 15 minutes with you. Okay? Just go with it. This is not, it's for you, but it's not just for you. Okay? Your participation in this is going to help you, but it's going to help everybody else. And there's a lot more of them than there are you. Okay? The concept is we're doing this for other people. We're doing this training for other people. You're going to get a lot out of it. But your story and your discussion is not going to just be good for you. It's going to be good for 27 other people. There's 29 people on here tonight. There's me, there's you, and there's 27 others. By us having the conversation together, it's going to help you, but it's going to bring value to 27 other people. I hope that makes sense. And that's why we want to make sure you got your numbers in. That's what I mean by, well, I don't have anybody in my organization that's here. Bull crap. We're all on the same team. So when I talk about you got to cut the rope below you and the rope above you and fling yourself off the mountain, when you do that, you're letting everybody else down when you don't participate. That doesn't mean you got to have a number in each box every day. Things are going to happen. There's going to be sick people. There's going to be people go to the hospital. Somebody's cat's going to get ran over. There's going to be car wrecks. There might be somebody, God forbid, is going to pass away. Crazy things happen because it's called life. I'm sorry if that's a slap across the face to anybody. It's going to happen. So if you have zeros, you have zeros. Own it. Say, hey, this is what went down today. I wasn't able to do this. God first, family second, Kayani third, and something else popped up in front of that today. Cool, man. Rock and roll. We'll get you on the next one. Hope everything's okay. But the key is that you were there. And that teaching moment that says it's okay to not put a number in the box that day is a very important teaching moment. And then you look at it, and is that helping you get to where you desire? That's the whole thing. It's not the number I want for you. It's me pointing out to you that if you want to get where you desire, that number's not going to get it done, but that's up for you to decide, not up for me. You know your desires. I know a lot of y'all's desires, but I don't know all of them. So it's for you to take a look at, am I getting it done? And you'll know if you're getting it done or not. These numbers are going to help you. Other questions that anybody might have?
I do, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
What if we pull a Lazarus? I've got a few that it's been several months since I set up three-ways with that I want to revisit. Do those count?
Yeah, if it's been a couple months, yeah, you can go ahead and start that up because you're going to reach out to them. And so I get it from the number of, hey, one time for doing it. But if it's been months, I'm good with you bringing that back up. It's, are you having a conversation as far as tracking your numbers in the month of March? Go ahead and show that.
Okay.
There was another question. It was sent to me on the private. Let's see here. Where are you entering this information on the enrollment date? Not in column B, but which column? So column A is where we would put in their enrollment. Yes, so not to the right, but below. So for instance, Mulligan's taken, put on here, I took one on the 5th, on the 17th, on the 19th, and 23rd. So you've used your 4 mulligans, okay? And when I'm taking roll each night, I'm going to go through, see all the people that are in here, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so that's where you would enter it. I've got 6 new customers. Their IDs are 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that one, and then that one. So that's how you would go about putting those in there with the real numbers, of course. Okay? I think I answered that one. Let's keep going here. 3-1. I think you should not. Most people who are just learning about this day.
Hey, I got another question, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
What if I can only take part of a call?
Good point. Just let me, here's how that would work. Just let me know, communicate with me. I'm not, my goal is not to exclude people. My goal is to include people, but I'm not looking for anybody to take advantage of the situation. So I'll be human about it. Just let me know.
Because on the nights I close, I might be able to take part of the call from the office, but I wouldn't be able to stay on for the whole hour.
Yep. And it's going to be 45 minutes is going to be my goal, is to go from 9 to 9:45 to let you know that. And if you can make it, you make it. If you can't, take a mulligan. And if it's got to be more than that, just let me know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then go feed some families if you need some more. It'll be for a good cause. Good questions. I think there were not most people who are just learning about this. Sherry, I'm missing your point.
It was in reply to David and Jake's.
Oh, okay.
So
all taken care of.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions before we adjourn for the night?
I can do all this from my phone as well, right?
You sure can. Yeah, you do not have to have a computer to do this. You can definitely do it from your phone. You might be a little bit cumbersome, but you can absolutely use Google Sheets from your phone with no problem.
Okay.
Good question. All right. Thumbs up if you're excited about this. Thumbs down if you're like, what the hell are you doing, man?
I got a question, Casey.
More thumbs up than down. Yes, sir. What you got, Uncle Larry?
All that smack that David's talking about them distributors. What about the bonus points for people like me that can't keep customers? Because I put 4 customers in, and all 4 of them became distributors. So there's got to be a bonus for that somewhere along the line.
I love it. I love it.
Bonus? Ain't no bonus. You either get it done or you don't, sir. Ain't no bonus. He's asking for no freebies.
I love it. Good times.
Bonus.
Good times. That's too funny. Good.
Bonus.
I love it. Good question and good rebuttal. All right. What other questions do we got? Anybody completely lost? This is going to be a very good teaching moment that if you're lost, absolutely, this is where you ask questions. Say, Casey, I don't know what the hell we're doing here. I'm so lost.
I'm confused, but I'm gonna figure it out.
I like that. I appreciate you, saying that, and then I also like the determination. And I promise you, we've got 3 people already on it for reaching out to you. I see 2 of them shaking their head. So I see a 3rd one. So yeah, we got you covered. We'll reach out on that, and that's what it takes, folks. If you're about to go up a mountain and you're not quite sure that you got the rope attached correctly, you start asking questions. All right.
I'm betting Uncle Larry screws up your spreadsheet.
There's a 50-50 shot on that happening.
Nice one.
That's awesome. I love it.
Hey,
All
Casey,
right.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Since this is a health and wellness company, if I do 58 minutes of cardio, that would count that as personal development?
I like that. Yes, I like that a lot. You can absolutely put that in there. You can do it for the body or you can do it for the mind. And let's do this. Double points if you're listening to Tony Robbins while you're walking.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. So that'll work. That'll work. I like that. And if you want, here's the other cool thing. You can add an extra line in there, and that might actually – I like that suggestion, actually. That is growing on me. We're gonna add that. We're gonna add that. So I will make sure that is in there for April for sure. If you want to add it yourself for March, everybody, feel free to add a line in there, and that'll work out good. Put it right next to the personal development. Put it in for health development or whatever you want to call it, and then we'll standardize that for April. But I like that a lot. You can double what you got. So if you're doing health or you're doing personal development, then you can put that in the personal development line, or you can add a second line and track them separately. I really like that suggestion, Rob. If y'all don't know what the heck I'm talking about right now, don't worry about it. Just keep rolling. All right. Other questions, comments, concerns? Lost in the wilderness comments. Aaron, what you got?
Hey, are you going to do the 30-day challenge with this summit, or are we going to do that outside of the summit?
I'm going to do it outside. I was thinking on how I would put it in, but it's only going to be 20-something days, and then with the mulligans, it was down to 16, so I decided to no, I appreciate you bringing that up. We had some cool thoughts on the shooter call on how we might do some other things on this, but I decided to go with a little bit ease of use on this one. We'll rope it in on the next one. Might be a future campaign that we separated off. But thank you, Karen. I appreciate you bringing that up.
The day we have the wedding, but from this day on.
All right. I don't know if she meant to play that or. Okay. Any last minute comments? Questions?
Casey, I was going to offer if there's anybody on here that wanted my phone number, if they can't get a hold of you or want some one-on-one. I don't know if anybody's interested, but I'd be willing to give it out if they do have any interest.
Love it.
So
that's awesome. I appreciate that. And if y'all would like to take Uncle Larry up on that, feel free to post that out on Kayani Local or on Power Hour, and I'll make sure if he doesn't respond to you, I'll make sure he gets it, and that'll be an easy way to be able to grab it from Brian. That's all. I appreciate that, Brian.
No
And,
problem, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. What is that TR event info? Missy, what are you asking? I didn't catch your question.
Casey, she's talking about the event on Wednesday in Houston. So Tony Robbins and some other guys are here on Wednesday.
Oh, I missed that one up there. Cool.
I just posted that in there. There's a promo code. I'll have to go back and look up what it is. I can't guarantee that it's still going to work for free this close to the event, but I know that it did work for me. So I'll post that out there. I think it could be a good event for anybody that's able to make time on Wednesday.
Okay.
Uncle Larry, you see what David's holding up for you? I love the
No, I missed that. Can you do it again?
Oh, goodness gracious. That's fun stuff. All right. Questions have slowed down. We're going to call it a night. So we are a bit over, but good for the first night to get all of this out. If you have any questions, post it either on County Local or on Power Hour. I'll be monitoring both of those. Send it to me directly. If you got any questions, give me a call tomorrow. 832-771-0730 is my number for y'all that don't have it. Make sure you have that plugged into your phone and put an asterisk next to it. And if you need anything, let me know. Okay, so we will kick this sucker off tomorrow. Make sure you get your numbers in. Make sure you get your names in. Make sure you find out if you got any problems so that we can rectify it before we get to the summit tomorrow, Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. Another reminder for you all, tickets for the regional is on sale. It's going to be on Saturday, April 6th in Houston. If you can make it, we'd love to have you. Tickets are $25. There are only 40 seats. We sold out last month. Make sure you get that. Don't wait till the last second. They're not going to be any cheaper. It's going to be $25. In fact, if we don't sell out and we have any extra, they're $35 at the door. So you might as well go ahead and get that taken care of. And that's going out on the text message as well as the links have been posted in Power Hour and County Local. Another announcement, just a reminder, this Thursday, the first DFY event that we've done in a long time, we're going to have a series of those. We're going to be doing them on the 7th, that's this Thursday, on the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. So there'll be a 4-week engagement that's going to get started. Doors are going to open at 6:45. Definitely be there by 7. Slides start flying at 7:15. I don't care if you're around the corner, almost there. Your guest is late. 7:15. We're presenting. We'll be done at 8:15 at the absolute latest, depending on how things go in a new location and any gremlins that we might have to beat up on to make sure everything runs smooth. And then we have to be out of the room no later than 9 o'clock, or they charge us for more time. Okay. The cost for this for all business partners is only $5. Okay. There are no parking fees. It is in a strip center. There's plenty of parking. It's on Spring Cypress and 249. It's 1 mile west of 249. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're inviting guests. Don't break the system when you're inviting guests. Okay. You get to the point where it's, hey, you want to fix that? You do? Great. I need to introduce you to the guy. Okay. The guy is going to be doing a presentation on Thursday at 7:15. All right. If you want, I'll come pick you up. I'll put you in front of him. You get to meet the guy that's running the whole show. Okay. And if they don't want to do that or they can't do that, then you set it up and say, hey, instead of that, then let's meet up for coffee. Let's meet up on one-on-one. Let's meet up on a Zoom. There's 1,000 different ways to do it. It's the same process. It's just a different way of introducing them to the guy, and you get them to the event. Guests are free at the event. It's only a business partner that's paying to be able to cover the cost of the room. And whatever we don't cover with that, I'm covering out of my pocket and out of any proceeds that we get out of the region. So that's where the money goes.
Hey, Stacy.
Yes, ma'am.
Stacy, do we pay you the $5 when we go there Thursday?
Yes, you pay in person. Bring $5.
Oh,
okay. Bring $5 cash. Make sure you bring cash. $5, $5 US of cash. All right.
And also the next question I had problems with spreadsheet last time, So I need help on the spreadsheet this time. Are you able
If
to?
you
Or
got
can I
any-
get somebody?
here's what I'll do for you. If you got any issues on that, call Brian.
Mhm.
No, I'm just kidding. Almost got him to choke on that ice, dude. You got to time that just right. If you got problems with that, send me your numbers directly, Ava. I know we tried and you had it was an issue with your computer, so that's not open for everybody, but I'm making it for Ava. So just send me your numbers directly. I'll make sure they get in there. Okay, so send them in a text message or send them.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, you're welcome. All right, last call for questions.
Get out of here.
Let's do it. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna unmute the line so you can say good night. Everybody.
Everybody. Tomorrow.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Casey.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Right.
All right. See you guys.